So, Doug, one of the big themes of your candidacy, and I think one of the themes of you as a psychologist, has been connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about this whole question of how do you connect us up with each other?
Well, interdisciplinary connection is really one of the fundamental elements of my vision for the APA presidency. And it is really because I think in training, we talk about the need for interdisciplinary collaboration. But in actual practice, we really have a hard time making that happen. For example, the neuroscientists among us don't talk to the clinicians, who don't talk to the educators, who don't talk to those developing policy, and so on, whereas we are one profession. And we need more connection between one another. And I think for personal reasons as well. We hear a lot about the concept of self-care for every kind of psychologist. And we benefit from the richness that derives from connecting with one another.
So, can you talk a little bit about some of your ideas about how to help bridge these gaps?
Well, one obvious idea is the generation of projects that require interdisciplinary activity. And for example, my 3 presidential initiatives, Trauma in Everyday Life, the Body-Mind Connection, and the Evolving Family, all require the participation of academics, clinicians, educators and trainers, and public interest types. And the generation of more projects like that is excellent. The Codapar grants are a terrific starting place, and those have been helpful for a period of time. But we need to move beyond that, and APA must institutionalize ways for us to connect with one another.
So, what kinds of means would you see us pursuing to institutionalize more connectivity?
Well, as psychologists, we're pretty spread out. For example, here in Washington State, there's a great geographic divide between the eastern and the western halves of the state, and it isn't practical to think about face-to-face meeting as a way to complete our projects or get to know each other better. What I would propose is an increased use of technology in order to strengthen our connections. For example, this very website doesn't need to be restricted to a presidential campaign. I pledge to keep it up during my presidency as a model for how different interest groups and or different state, provincial, or territorial psychological associations can create a community that electronically links people.
So, the people from Puerto Rico and the people from Oregon could get together on this site and work out a project together?
That's the idea. That is definitely the idea. And hopefully the Puerto Ricans and the Oregonians would bring different strengths to a problem, like many in psychology, that require a multidisciplinary focus.
Well, that's a very unique viewpoint about how to address these kinds of challenges for psychology.
We're talking about our future. We are talking about our future all the time, and this is part of it.
Well, you're going to get us into the 21st century.
Thank you.